Hey guys, welcome to Bantam Man Bhatt. I'm your host Achal Bhatt and this is the review of Laapataa Ladies. So Laapataa Ladies is Kiran Rao's directorial after Dhobi Ghat after a hiatus of 12 years. Dhobi Ghat was more serious, more hard-hitting, very sort of slow burn. But Laapataa Ladies is very different. It's still in that real zone, but it's very different from what Dhobi Ghat was. So let's go ahead and take a look at what's good and what's bad. So right off the bat, what works most for this movie is its casting and its acting. Every character has been cast extremely well and all the actors do the part very well. Starting off with Sparsh Srivastav, who plays Deepak in the movie, basically the guy who's lost his bride. He has done a phenomenal job in this movie and has very good control over all of his emotions. He has absolutely immersed himself into the character and has a very wide emotional range as well. He's portrayed his character to perfection and it's a treat to watch him on screen. Ritanshi Goel plays Phool Kumari, the lost bride, and she's extremely endearing in her performance. There's this sense of innocence in the way she acts and you really feel for her. You really feel like she's this damsel in distress, doesn't know what the big bad world is out there, and she does a very convincing job portraying all of that. Pratibha Ranta or Ranta, apologies for the mispronunciation, plays the other misplaced bride. Now she's done an extremely good job with her part as well, and she's supposed to portray this character which is from a village, a small town, who has that bit of confidence in her and wants to take the leap forward. With her role, I feel she's done a very good job. The only slight negative point about her acting was that when it comes to English words, there was a bit of inconsistency. So at times she speaks English words, she pronounces them in more of a city girl type of a way, and at times it's more of like a village girl type of a way. But this is very rare in the movie, just a couple of instances. For the most part, I think she has a great command over her acting, a very good range as well. And I definitely think she's going to be a very promising actress. I think she's portrayed a village girl much better than 80% of the actresses out there. Now, the most known person in this movie is Ravi Kishan. He plays this police officer who is corrupt but also has a few morals. It is very endearing to watch him throughout all his performances. He definitely brings about a few laughs, and all the sequences involving him are like a breath of fresh air. Now his sidekick in this movie is Dubeji, played by Durgesh Kumar, aka Dekh Raha Hai Binod. I mean, extremely happy for him. He's a great actor. He made a mark in Panchayat, and I really wish he had more of a part to play in this than just being Ravi Kishan's sidekick. But nevertheless, he's done a very good job with his little role in this movie and definitely brings about a few smiles. The movie actually has some very good supporting actors as well, a lot of whom haven't been seen a lot before. One of the more prominent ones is Chaya Kadam, who's actually a very prominent Marathi actress. She plays the role of Manju Mai, who's this hawker at the station who helps out the lost bride Phool Kumari, and her performance is impeccable. You barely can ever tell that she's a Marathi actress. Her accent, her dialect is spot on, and she definitely has this immense screen presence that just captures you into every scene that she's a part of. Her impact on the characters and the movie is significant, and she definitely leaves a very strong mark. Out of all the supporting characters, the one that stands out the most for me is Satyendra Soni as Chotu. He's basically this kid who helps out Phool Kumari through her journey when she's trying to figure out what to do, and his performances are just impeccable. He's quirky, funny, effervescent, and it's an absolute delight to watch him on screen. Full points for his casting. Apart from this, every character, as I said, fits very well into their roles, and everyone has done a very good job portraying the characters. No one, as I said, seems out of place. Now, the movie has a few negatives as well. For starters, there are sequences where the movie starts to drag a little, and the sequences or the subplots that are being built up don't really move the story forward. Another point I want to mention is that at times the dialogues or the banter between individuals doesn't seem very realistic. And this is only in a few scenes in the movie, but I just still want to point it out. So, for example, there are sequences where a more confident woman asks a less confident woman questions like, "Tum ghungat kyun pehante ho? Tum apne pati ka naam kyun nahi lete?" etc. And almost always the response is either complete silence or like, "Pata nahi, kyunki sab karte hai," or whatever. And I just want to talk about Aaron Sorkin over here, who's arguably one of the greatest writers out there. And what he'd once said was that when you build characters, you want both characters to say dialogues in a way which portrays that they are right. So even if you know a character is wrong, their logic or their reasoning for saying what they say should be so right that it makes the other person think about what they're saying. So to complicate this a little less, let me put it this way. So tomorrow, if the character asks the other character कि तुम घूंघट क्यों पहनते हो, और या तुम अपने पति का नाम क्यों नहीं लेती, so the other character, instead of saying pata nahi, or just staying silent, if she went ahead and gave some reasoning or some logic as to how society works, or anything for that matter, that just walks the other person through her thought process, or in this case the audience through her thought process, and that makes for a more engaging and more impactful dialogue. So I feel I would have liked that in this movie. Now, a few other special mentions. I think the production design of this movie is very, very good. There's a lot of attention to detail in giving it that rural, rustic look and feel, and I think they've done a very good job, even in terms of the aging of the doors. How the doors look broken, look dusty. The railway station setup looks very authentic. The home setup looks very authentic. So very good job over there. Also, I think the makeup in this movie is very good and very realistic. Actors who have been tanned to look like villagers do look like villagers and look very authentic. So I think that's been done very well. Also, small details like having people with stained teeth or dirt in their fingernails and things like that have been giving attention to, and I really appreciate that level of detail when it goes into a movie. Apart from this, I think the songs and the background music more or less flow with the movie. There's no song that stands out and that you see yourself like humming after the movie is over, but it, as I said, flows very well with the movie and doesn't seem out of place. Now, the vibe of this movie is more on the lines of like a Peoply Live, Masan, All India Rank, that sort of a zone, like a village, small town sort of a setup, more of like a slice of life sort of a film. So that's the zone or the world you're in. So if this world is not really for you, if you don't like watching movies of this type, if you don't like watching movies of this scale, then I would say this movie is not really for you. But if you do, then I would say you should definitely go ahead and watch it. I think Kiran Rao has done a very good job as a director in this movie. Her direction style is more wry, witty, satirical, and there are some scenes in this movie where you just really appreciate the role of a director. So one scene, for example, is where they're introducing this female constable who's very who's supposed to look very tough and menacing and all of that, and Ravi Kishan is talking about her, and you basically just see her hand cracking an akhrot, and when she cracks the akhrot, the sound is amplified just to sort of give even more of a weight to what her character is going to be like. Apart from this, is a sequence where they show that the bride has gotten lost at the station, and there are these men talking about how they made a bunch of money through dowry and things like that. And then as they leave, you see her hide behind this dustbin, and this dustbin says "Use me." Now, great placement of that dustbin and that "Use me" sign over there. Great subtext in a situation like that. There are a number of scenes in the movie where such elements are used to give you a little quirk, a little fun, and I think all of this sort of adds to the comedy and the layering in the movie. All in all, I think this movie is well made. It makes for a nice, simple and sweet watch. I'm giving it 3.5 out of 5. Thanks a lot for watching. Please do subscribe to my YouTube channel if you like my content, and also please show my Instagram account some love. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you very soon.